In this video, we are going to create the second button for our controller, and for that we are going to repurpose this first button. So I'm going to simply clone it to the right by pressing on it with the selection tool and holding down the Alt key or Option if you're on a Mac. And really all we have to do is we have to get rid of the stroke right here. We don't need it right here, and we need to just make this fill a bit bigger and then add the actual buttons. So I'm going to go to the appearance panel, and I'm going to remove the stroke just like so, and I'm going to make this this slider fill just a bit bigger. Let's see, 80%, and let's hit the preview. Maybe 78%. So as you can see, with this simple trick, we are kind of like making it look like it's indented in the middle. This ring right here is kind of like making it look like it's an inner shadow. So the next thing to do would be to create the cross right here, the crossing buttons. So for that, I'm just going to grab the rectangle tool. I'm going to press M on my keyboard to make it active. And starting from the center point, I'm simply going to Alt-click and make it as big as this. This should be fine. I'm going to press the T key on my keyboard to reduce it to the default appearance. Of course, I don't need the stroke. And for the fill, I'm going to make it lighter, or maybe a bit darker, just like so. And I'm going to copy and paste it in front by pressing Ctrl-C and then Ctrl-F on my keyboard. On a Mac, you'd go with the Command-C, Command-F. And I'm simply going to rotate it, holding down the Shift key by 90 degrees, just like so. So now I'm going to make sure that these guys are united, that they are one shape. So I'm going to go to the Pathfinder tool and press the Unite button right here. And the original button has curved corners, has rounded corners. So what we can do is, depending on which Illustrator you are working with, there are two ways of achieving this effect. Of course, we could just go with the rounded rectangle tool, but we wouldn't have the flexibility of readjusting the rounded corners should we change our mind. So if you are working on a version of Illustrator that has the live corners option, here's what you can do. You can simply select this shape with the direct selection tool, and in the control panel you can see this corners option right here, and if we just change the radius, we can see that the corners are starting to look rounded, just like so. However, if you are working on a version of Illustrator, for instance CS6 or CS5, that doesn't have this feature right here, here's what you can do. You can simply, let me just go back a few steps. You can simply just grab this cross right here, go to the Effect menu, and then just go to the Stylize, and then round corners right here. And if I just hit preview, basically the result that we are going to get is going to be pretty much the same. Of course, we are going to round the corners, and if we don't like the roundness, like I don't like the roundness, like in this case, we can simply just select this cross, go to the appearance panel, and then choose round corners under the fill value right here, and make it smaller to maybe 3 pixels. Let's stick with 3 pixels. This should be fine. I think I'm gonna make this guy just a bit bigger, just like so. And there we go. We got the second button created. I'm going to put it next to this guy. Or maybe I'm just going to group them and put this guy next to this original button. So we are starting to build our buttons library. We are going to need 2 of these buttons, ultimately, because the Xbox controller has 2 the same buttons like these guys right here. And next up, we would have to create these small buttons right here, and then of course these action buttons, these colorful buttons here on the right. I think that we are going to start with the smaller buttons, but I think that we are going to do that in the next video, so stay tuned.